Hi ladies, this is Britta. I am going to talk to you today about creating a Facebook group and some different things that you may want to take into consideration when starting your business and marketing it online. So just kind of some basics about creating your group. If you are on a computer, so you will, on the left-hand side of your Facebook, so log into Facebook, and then on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see like a bunch of options. And look for the one that says groups, and then any group that you're a part of shows up there. And then in the upper right-hand corner, there's a green button that says create group. So click create group to create a group. It's very similar on your phone as well. So when you're on your cell phone screen, don't be on your profile screen, but kind of the navigation screen where you can choose like events, groups, like all these different things. And it should say groups, and then you should be able to click on it. And again, there should be a button that says create a group. When you create the group, so you're going to need to name your group. When you're thinking about your name, be sure to think about your name. Be sure to think about it. Spend some time trying to figure out something that makes you unique, makes you special, that you can use for your group name. When I have downlines that are asking for help on creating their group page name, I like to Google maybe creative boutique names to get some ideas. I also will Google like adjectives that start with. So like if I was trying to come up with a name for myself, like if I didn't have a name for my group page, maybe I would want to use kind of alliteration with the B in my name. So maybe I would Google adjectives that start with B to get some help coming up with some different words. You want to make sure that you keep it professional. So you want to be really you want to be proud of your name. And you want to be able to put it on your business cards and be happy, okay, to hand your business cards to anyone, from an 85-year-old woman to a 17-year-old girl. Like, you want to make sure that you are proud of this, okay, and that it is professional and it is something that's not like an inside joke that maybe you and your friends think are funny, but somebody else isn't going to necessarily get, or something that could potentially be offensive and therefore narrow your customer base. So just really think about that. So like I said, maybe alliteration with the first letter of your name. If you speak a different language or something to do with your cultural background, maybe there's something like that that you can put in. Maybe you have a nickname. You want to use the initials of your kids' names. Maybe you already own a business and you want to use that business name in there. Maybe you're really live on a farm and you are a farm girl through and through and you want to use that somehow. Maybe you're a city girl downtown, living in a skyrise, high rise, or whatever. Maybe you want to use something like that, but be creative, be professional, and like I said, just make sure that you are proud of it. Once you create your name, you do have the ability to go back and change it. So if you create it and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done this, you absolutely 100% can change the name of your group page. Now, if you put it all over your business cards, it's going to cost you some money to rename it. But you can change your group page on Facebook fairly easily. Other things to think of is like maybe a theme, like Leah, one of my downlines, has hers is like the Sparkle Squad. I can't remember exactly what her group name is, but I think Sparkle Squad. And so everything she kind of does has to do with sparkle, like down to her gift certificates. Like she gives Sparkle Cash sometimes for like a drawing or whatever. And so kind of think if there's something like that that you love, if you really love pink, or you love strawberries, or you love triangles, or you love flowers, or whatever it is, kind of think about marketing yourself and kind of bringing together a brand like that. Then once you have created your Facebook page, I always suggest just the first person you add to your group should be your direct upline. And the reason I say that, instead of populating your whole group with members, you have to add one person when you create it. So add your upline. Then as you're kind of working out the kinks and kind of figuring out how you want to set your page up, only your upline is going to be getting notifications of that, not all of your friends, so that they're not being bombarded with all sorts of stuff and kind of seeing you stumble and fumble around while you're trying to get started. So what I would do then is, once you've created your group and added your upline, then you want to start to think of kind of things that you can put into folders, posts that you want to be able to refer back to. I think it's a really great idea to have some sort of welcome post pinned to the top of your group. I've seen this done in different ways, like actually a pinned post where it's just all text. So somebody's written out like, hey, this is who I am. Here's a picture of my family. This is how I got into SeneGence. This is what it means to me. This is, and tell your story and kind of your why, because people always want to know why you're doing it. And when they know why, they are more likely to support you and really see, the reason behind it. So I've seen people do like just a text post. I've also seen videos, and that's a great way to show your personality, to do something funny or serious, or you're really good with graphics or whatever, and you can kind of pull your personality into a video a little bit more than you can with text. I personally have a video pinned to the top of my page, and it's not really, I also have text, so I have a welcome text accompanying the video, and then the video is an application video, so like a how-to, so that when I get a new customer or a new person added to the group, I can just quick comment them their name in the comments, so that they can see that video and make sure that they know how to use the product correctly. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about your welcome post. That's just a couple examples. You can also search other people's groups and kind of see what they're doing. Then you'll want to maybe think about your folders. And I'll be honest, my folders are not great because I didn't really think about this stuff when I was starting. But you'll want to kind of decide how you want to do it. But having a few specific folders will save you a lot of time and energy as you're trying to answer information to people. So you can have a folder with all the colors. You can have a folder of just your current in-stock items. So it could be your colors, your foundations, your shadows, kind of whatever it is that you have. And then you can update that weekly, delete stuff as you sell out of it, add stuff as you get shipments, and just constantly keep that one up to date. You can have a how to place an order folder where it actually just tells them how they place an order with you. You can have an application folder where you have all kind of the steps of how to apply the color and kind of tips and tricks there. What else could you have? Kind of the benefits of LipSense, what is LipSense, a LipSense informational folder that if somebody gets added to your group, you can tag them in that folder, and then they can just read through the 12 images that are in there. You could have a folder for foundations. You could have a folder for skincare. You could, and I say folder, I really mean album. You could have an album for skincare. You could have an album for shadow. You could have an album for whatever else it is that you are kind of talking to your customers about. And that way there isn't necessarily just posts on posts on posts on posts that people have to scroll through, but it's a more organized way for them to get some information and then be less likely to get confused or to get frustrated that they can't really find maybe the information that they're looking for. And when you first get started, taking other people's photos from Pinterest or Google, that kind of thing, is fine. The back office has a ton of stuff as well to take. But as you start to kind of find your way, you really probably want to start thinking about marketing yourself, and kind of what that means. What do you want your images to look like? Maybe taking your own photos, creating your own images and your own graphics, because that's going to set you apart, and it's going to make it so that you're not just like everybody else, and you'll be interesting, and people will want to be a part of your group versus the one that looks like everybody else's. The other issue with Googling and Pinteresting images is sometimes those images are copyrighted, and you could get into trouble from using them. So if somebody else stole an image and made it into a meme, and then you're using it, that could get you in trouble, even though you didn't know in the first place. So you do want to be careful when you're taking images and you're not sure of the source. That goes for when you're doing live videos as well. When you're thinking copyrighted material, so any songs. So you'll notice, like, I don't have any music playing in the background, because if you're using a video to market a product and you're making money, if you're using copyrighted material, then you are doing something illegal, and the people who have the copyright for that music can then come after you. Does it happen often? Maybe not if you're like a small fish, but as your business starts to grow, and if you start to have a video that like kind of maybe goes viral, or a lot of people are looking at, or whatever, then you're suspect to that. And there is a like social media group, I think it's called Sparkle Social, that Leah runs, and she talks about that as well. So Facebook like notices music, and so sometimes Facebook will shut down your account if you're using stuff you shouldn't. So that when you copy and paste an entire post, when you're listening to, or when you have music in your videos, just be really careful that you're not doing copyrighted material. That's why making your own images is great. And then lastly, like, just make sure that you are being positive in your group. Always positive. Like, don't talk negative about the products, the people, anything really, like even your life. I mean, can you be a little bit negative, like, oh, I had a bad day, like, but, and then put like a swing on, like a spin on it, like, oh, I had a super busy day at work, but look, my lip scent stayed the whole day, or something like that. But like, you're gonna like, your mood or your feeling is gonna be magnetic. So if you're positive, you're happy, you're fun, people are gonna want to be a part of it. People are gonna want to get to know you, know your team. Why is it like this? How come she has so much fun? Look at all this stuff. And they're gonna be interested, versus if you are negative, or, you know, using your group, like, I mean, I don't know why anybody would use their business page to like complain, because it seems like counterintuitive, but just make sure that you're being positive, and think about the vibe that you want to set, and then people will naturally be attracted to that and want to know what's going on over in your group page. So that's what I have for you. So create your group, go to groups, and then create group. You're going to do your name. Oh, and then after you do your name, it's going to be whether you want public or private. I forgot to talk about that. So private is what it says, private. You could do secret too, so nobody can even see it. So I definitely don't suggest that. So that would mean that you would have to invite them, or your other members would have to invite them. They would never see the group. They couldn't search for it. It would never pop up as a suggested group. So I wouldn't do a secret group. Public versus private. There are definitely benefits to both. And so for a private group, the benefit would be that your posts are private. And your guests' posts are private, or your members' posts are private. So when they post something, nobody else will see it that's outside of the group. If it's public, other people can see that post if it gets a lot of comments, which is a great thing for marketing, because then if you can get interactive posts, then people who are just on your timeline and your friends and not part of your group are going to see so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so commented on this post, and then they might be like, oh, what is this? And then join your group. So it can be a good marketing thing. If it's private, then it's not going to be like that. Some people like the private so that if they're having their customers post selfies, that those aren't being shown to the world, and then maybe people are more likely to post than they would be if it were in a public setting. So you just kind of want to think about that, and how you're going to do your interactions and how you kind of want your group. I personally have mine public, but I know some of my team members that definitely really like to have it private. So totally up to you. So create the group, create a name, pick public or private. There's usually a description area that you can type in some stuff. You choose a cover photo. So again, you can use one from Google or Pinterest for now, and then change it later as you kind of get going. Once you've got the layout and you've created some albums, thought about how you're going to run it, then you can start populating your group with members. So a couple ways to do that as well. Either add every single person from your friend list. If you're going to do that, then I suggest having a post ready, okay, that you can click post right after you add everybody so that they get a notification, and that post says something like, hey, this is my group, welcome, like I just found this amazing lip product and I just wanted to make sure that I let all of you know about it. And I just wanted to add everybody, so I knew that I told everybody at least once. But if you want to leave my group, you're more than welcome to do that, or you can change your notifications. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. Just wanted to be sure I let you know. And I like to do that with a smudge video, showing that it does not come off, because you maybe get one post for some of those people, and the one post that they see is whether or not they stay. And so I think put on a really dark, bold color, do a smudge video, and post that with it. And then people will leave, and then later they'll ask to join again once they start to see it all over. Then they'll be like, oh, can you add me back to your group? The other way to do it is to personally invite everybody. So to post it on your personal page and say, hey, join my group if you want to, or message people and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I've got this VIP customer group, and I was just wondering if you would like for me to add you. Just let me know. If you'd like to, then I can totally add you. If you would rather not, no problem. Again, benefits to both ways. Very nice and personal to invite everybody to make sure that they want to be added versus just adding them. Other way, you get a lot of people that maybe wouldn't have wanted to be added, but then realize after sitting there for a while and seeing it that they wanted to be added when you add everyone. But then also you did do the post that said, hey, totally leave if you want to, or change notifications. So that is what I have for you tonight. So if you have any questions about Facebook groups, anything like that, make sure you put them in the comments below, and we will answer those questions for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a nice day or night, whatever time it is that you're watching this.